the automobile. At that time, I advised him that on the side of my window, on the driver's side passenger window, I had placed sections of the criminal code with regards to claim of right, lawful excuse, and defending property with claim of right. I also advised him that I have the right to defend my property, but will not do so based on the fact that they have all the weapons, and only an insane individual would do so. I advised him that I do not consent, did not require his service, and that these actions are under protest and duress. And I also advised him at that time that I had no conflict with the Calgary Police Service. The only question thereafter that he had for me was, why am I doing this? And my response was that I had many experiences throughout my life that led me to where I am right now. At that, there goes the car, and I was on my way. My first court date was March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I expected it to be relatively easy, as I have some experience with the courtrooms. I have helped people as agent defend themselves. I expected to get disclosure information at this time, adjourn this, and come back at another date. I also asked both the prosecutor and the Justice of the Peace that was sitting at the time why they refused to file my documents. They refused to answer. The only answer I got was no. So at that point, I knew that there was a curveball going on here. I asked for an adjournment of 8 weeks. I was again advised no. I advised the JP that I spoke with the Crown Prosecutor prior to standing up, and that she was in agreement with allowing me time to get disclosure, review the information, some time to prepare a motion or a charter application, and then to appear back in court. In the end, I got 6 weeks, and Act 1, Scene 2 is scheduled for April the 28th, 2010. Thank you.
What I've noticed over the past couple of days playing with some troglodytes on a forum from St. Catharines is that this is a very contentious issue. Some people are very proud of the fact that they have never looked in their own heart. They've never studied the acts. They trust the government implicitly and completely. They always pay their taxes. They're a good little citizen, and they want their cookie. And they don't want anyone thinking in a manner that they don't agree with. If you do start expressing yourself and thinking for yourself, you are automatically, according to them, a cult member, or you've been brainwashed. Now, I know that they're very fearful. I understand that their ignorance is fear-based, and they absolutely refuse to look at any of these reasons for my beliefs, because they can discount these beliefs because of where they come from. You're a cult member. Really? Well, look at this. No, I don't have to look at it. You're a cult member. Almost 30 pages, over 30 pages of stuff there, and all they can do is keep calling me a cult leader. People who look at the free man perspective are minions who can't think for themselves, and yet they are so very, very fearful of what would happen if. And then they have all sorts of scary scenarios about things that could happen to them. And of course, Nanny must keep them safe from the big, bad, scary freemen on the land who are willing to look at these words and think for themselves in order to determine exactly what they mean and whether or not they're applicable even. Yeah, they're very funny. I found it very, very telling that they were so incredibly fearful and hate-filled, it seemed. They're actually getting together now. They've started their own little MSN chat where they can help deal with these anti-freemen stuff. And they're calling up the government and asking the government to do something about this freemen on the land. They claim that the freemen on the land stuff is bullshit, that I'm a scam artist that's no good at it because I don't make money and I just give my stuff away for free. And they also try to claim that I don't do what I talk, that I don't walk the walk that I talk. Well, that's not the case. I mean, they have been so wrong on so many things, it's unbelievable. But what we're looking at here is not So much the fear and the mindset of those who have been essentially conditioned their whole life to act as children and to allow people in the government and the courts to dictate their actions and their beliefs and their thoughts. They never look in their own heart and decide from there what to do. No, all these decisions are made out for them. It's like kids, when you're a kid and your parent laid out your clothes so you'd wear them the next day. They want their morals all laid out for them so that they don't have to do any soul searching whatsoever. And those who are willing to do some soul searching, arrive at their own decisions, think for themselves, well, they're apparently brainwashed cult members. I find that very, very funny, very telling. And apparently these people are older adults who one claims to be retired, and I know what it is. Canada Pension Plan, he's been paying into that a whole long time. He spent his whole life in support of this government, and now he refuses to look at any evidence which could support the idea that maybe they don't actually have his best interest at heart. Canada Pension Plan, what happens if a bunch of freemen, what if we all become freemen? We say, no, I'm not paying into Canada Pension Plan anymore. Is he going to get his or not? Likely not, and that's what he's so afraid of. See, everyone has some form of agenda. Everyone has something that they want to achieve. Whether or not you hide it or whether or not you are very open and public with it, well, that's fine. That's up to you. What I noticed with these people, they were upset that when I told them, well, I'm going to be making a movie about this and how you guys are responding, and I'm going to be making a movie about the common law right to travel. I've got 3 movies on the go right now. And they were like, oh, I'm sure you're going to twist it around and not give us fair chance. And I said, okay, you can have some time on my movie. Oh, well, you'll just censor it and edit it. I said, okay, you can have 30 minutes, flat out. You do whatever you want. You can go before, you can go after. Explain your perspective on this, and we'll share it with the people in the country. No, I don't want to do that. You're a cult leader. Why should I support your cult? So you see, it gets to a point where there's no sense even trying to use logic and reason with them, because they automatically just go, la 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 la, I can't hear you, I can't see you, you're a cult member, la la la. And then when you say, okay, I'm done trying to talk to you, they think they won. However, none of this works in court, and that's where rights are going to be determined. So let's have a little look at the logic and the reason that the few people in St. Catharines just absolutely refuse to look at. Mostly they say because I'm a cult member or a cult leader and therefore whatever I say is tainted. I believe it's because they are fearful of what they would see and what they would then know. They like the idea that they've been right their whole life, and they hate the idea of finding out that they might not have been. So let's take a look at the argument that I would have presented to them had they been actually capable of rational discussion. Now, folks, this is a contentious issue. I have no doubt about that. And I had some fun on the forum, the Niagara forum there with a bunch of these naysayers. Their big thing, they think I'm a cult leader and that the whole World Freeman Society is a cult. So we're going to take a little boo at this situation here first. We'll put World Freeman Society here, and we will put these other people over here. Now, we will examine, are we in fact a cult or not? Now, as a Freeman on the land, I want you to expand your sources of information. I want you to look as many places as possible, do your own research, do your own due diligence, educate yourself. So I want you to expand info. These other guys, they advocate not even listening to me at all. Why? Because I'm a cult leader. Anything I say is cult drivel. It's cult rhetoric. It's just me trying to recruit people to my cult. So because it's a cult, don't even listen to it. So we can see that they wish to restrict your access to information. As a free man on the land, I think you should look in your own heart. I think you should find that which is truth to you, and I think you should follow your own path. I think you should develop your morals and your conscience and your ethics and determine what is right and wrong for yourself and follow that path and not have any leaders. So we want you to look in your heart